Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Noble Network Virtual College Fair, the second hour. Thank you for joining us. People come into the room. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. Use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. You don't have to wait till near the end. You can ask those questions at any time. Your cameras and microphones are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening. Be sure to sign up for more, including, they're coming up next hour if you haven't done so already, the same place you signed up for this one. And this presentation is being recorded. It'll be available within about a week. strivescan.com/noble. Now I've gotten the housekeeping stuff out of the way. Let me get out of the way now and turn it over to our first presenter from the University of Southern California.
Good morning or good afternoon, I suppose. Here in Chicago, we're catching you right at lunchtime. So I hope that you've got a snack and you can stay alert for us today. My name is Risa Tewksbury. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I am the Director of Midwest Admission, which means I am your counselor if you should be a student looking at USC from Chicago. I have with me today one of my colleagues, Eric, if you'd introduce yourself.
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, depending where you're at. My name is Eric Mejia, and I'm the Assistant Director of Undergraduate Admissions here at the University of Southern California. Glad to be here, and I'll be providing support and help answer any questions that you may have. So as we'd like to say at USC, fight on.
Thank you, Eric. So Eric and I are going to be answering questions in the chat, but I wanted to first give you a quick overview about the university. So I'm going to share my screen here, if I can do this successfully, and we'll get started with that. First, the University of Southern California, we are one of the largest private schools in Southern California, well, in the United States, and we've got about 20,000 undergraduate students. So though that makes us one of the largest private schools in the country, our average class size is still 26 students. Student to faculty ratio is 8:1. So even though we are a larger institution, you are still getting the benefit of that smaller classroom experience. Sorry, I'm having a little problem here with my screen share, so I apologize. Just a moment. I'm going to turn that off for a minute and try that again. As that just turned off on me. I'm sorry. Having a little technical difficulty. So USC, we are located in downtown Los Angeles, so you get the benefits of being both an urban campus, but also a truly self-contained campus. You have all of the benefits of being in Southern California and having all of the opportunities, the nightlife, the shopping, entertainment, the culture of the city of Los Angeles, but you also have the benefits of a true college campus experience. I'm trying to get that screen share back, and I'm sorry about that. See if I can get that back for us. Way to have some technical difficulties when we just got started here. So a few things I want to share about USC. USC has over 150 majors and 150 minors available. As far as the institution itself, you can double major, you can minor, you can have opportunities to cross different disciplines. If you want to study computer science, you can still get a minor in music. If you want to study business, you can still get a minor in dance. Maybe you want to do something in philosophy or politics, but you still wanted to have that experience in social change and working with NGOs. We've got combinations of all types of factors, and we know most of our students at USC are studying more than one thing. So we want you to take advantage of that and know that you don't have to narrow down your college choice to just one area. USC is very research focused, though we do want you to have that experience in the classroom. We also want you to have the opportunity to apply what you're learning in the classroom in real life, in real settings, in Los Angeles, in the country, and in our global community as well. USC is very much a global campus. We have students studying all over the world. At any given point, we have about 2,000 students studying in our overseas study programs, but we also have a large international student population on campus as well. And your scholarships and financial aid apply to those programs, so we want you to be able to take advantage of those experiences. Now, I mentioned that we are located in Los Angeles. That's a huge benefit to our students. We have the opportunity to have LA as our campus town. So you have all the nightlife, entertainment, shopping, culture, all the internship opportunities by studying in the city of Los Angeles. You have the opportunity to do work study and nonprofit organizations in the city of Los Angeles, as well as get those job experience and internships, but also permanent or full-time career experience. But then we also have the beaches, the mountains, the desert, the year-round outdoor climate. So you have all of those benefits as well. So certainly we enjoy our location in Los Angeles, but still have that traditional campus feeling as well. Now, campus life, that's something USC is very well known for. We rank very highly every year in campus engagement, both engagement with your faculty members and your fellow students, but also in the campus, the school spirit, the clubs, the organizations. We have over 1,000 different student organizations that you can be part of, and we know that's an important part of your experience as well. Admission application, I want to make sure that you know that we use the Common Application and the USC Writing Supplement. We also, for financial aid, meet 100% of your demonstrated financial need, and we use the FAFSA and the CSS profile for that. Also want to make sure that you know December 1 is our application deadline for merit-based scholarships. USC does not do any early programs. We don't have early decision or early action, so you don't have to worry about that with us. But we do have an earlier scholarship consideration deadline, and that may also be a deadline for some of our performing arts programs. And then the final deadline in January. And then last, here is my contact information, and I'll make sure to put that in the chat as well, and also link to enjoying other virtual tours and programs that we have at USC. So I look forward to answering your questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Speaking of questions, use the Q&A to ask those questions. If it's for a specific school, name the school in your question so they know it's directed at them. And also, the chat was mentioned. Check out the chat for information that the representatives are sending to you. Up next, let's hear from Emory University.
Good afternoon from Atlanta, Georgia. My name is Timothy Fields. I am Senior Associate Dean at Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia. I am glad to be here with all of you. So let me share my screen. Hopefully you see a beautiful view of Atlanta, Georgia. Emory, we are located about 15 miles outside northeast of Atlanta, Georgia. So if you would like to have a liberal arts and research experience in a major metropolitan city, Emory is a great option. We have two campuses. We have another campus, Oxford College, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But I did want to just begin and talk about, the two things that I think really make Emory stand apart. The first being the city of Atlanta. Atlanta being a major metropolitan city with one of the world's busiest airports and numerous opportunities in multiple disciplines. Atlanta has become a leader in film and media. It is also a leader in business. It is also a leader in social justice and civil rights and many other areas. And so as we think about what do you want your college education to be? What do you want that experience to be? Yes, we'll talk about what your experience will be in the classroom on campus, but Atlanta as a backdrop provides so many opportunities for students, and we truly want students to take advantage of those opportunities no matter what they are interested in. I talked about our two campuses, so let's kind of talk a little bit about how do you arrive at Emory. First, the campus that you saw is Emory College. Like I said, it's right outside of downtown Atlanta. So if students want to have that experience for all 4 years and have Atlanta right there in the background, they had that opportunity. But if you want to start in a smaller environment, Oxford College is roughly about 40 miles outside of Atlanta, and that's a 2-year campus. You can begin your first and second year on that campus, and then once you complete those 2 years, you automatically transition to Emory College, the campus in Atlanta. So when you're starting to think about where do I want to begin, there's Emory College, Oxford College, or both. You can apply to both places with one application, pay one application fee, and then if admitted to both places, you can determine where you want to begin your education at. But the key point is that everybody is ultimately going to graduate from the Atlanta campus. And so Emory University has over 80 different majors. A lot of students come to Atlanta interested in healthcare sciences, pre-med programs, the natural science area. But we also have one of the top undergraduate business schools in the country, the Gosweda Business School, and we have a school of nursing. We have several students that participate in pre-professional programs. So we want students that if they want to have those opportunities available to them, be it if you want to be a dentist, if you want to be a physical therapist, if you want to be a doctor, lawyer, or many other areas, you can do that while also studying the different areas that you would like to go into. So these are kind of the 4 areas that we like to highlight that you can pursue at Emory, but just know that you do not have to declare a major until the end of your 2nd year. So you have the first 2 years, no matter if you're at Oxford College or Emory College, to explore the curriculum, to think about what it is that you would like to study. So we want students to take full of those responsibilities. Outside the classroom, students have opportunity. We have over 500 clubs or organizations. We are Division III sports. So if you want to participate in intercollegiate athletics, you have those opportunities. And then we also, about a third of our students participate in Greek life. Finally, just a little bit about the application. Similar to many of my colleagues, we are on the Common Application. We do take the Coalition application, and we are a Quest Bridge school. We are very proud to say that we are one of the largest Quest Bridge schools in the country, with over 500 Quest Bridge students being on our campus. So for those of you who may be thinking about going through the Quest Bridge process, that opportunity is available to you as well. You can go to our website, apply.emory.edu, for more information. I'll definitely put information in the chat and answer your questions as we proceed. I definitely thank you for taking the time to learn a little bit about Emory, and then I'm going to go on to our next colleague.
Thank you very much, and I will remind everyone that you can ask questions to any of our representatives, and you can do that using the Q&A button. Also, check out the chat. You might get some information sent there from each of our reps. Up next, we will hear from the United States Naval Academy.
Thank you, and a big thank you first and foremost to all the students for participating today. So my name is Dan Schmerber. I'm a lieutenant in the Navy. I'm a 2013 graduate of the Naval Academy, helicopter pilot by trade, and now I'm working as the field admissions counselor at the Naval Academy. So I grew up in Elgin, Illinois, and I'm back here outside of Chicago now working. So really glad to be working back in the Chicagoland area. I'm going to get right into it because there's a lot of information to cover, and I'll be sure to share my information in the chat as well at the end if you have any questions. So the Naval Academy is the eminent undergraduate institution for our naval service. So you might have heard of the Military Academy at West Point, that's for the Army, the Air Force Academy, or the Navy version of that. So our graduates will not only get their 4-year college degree, they'll also have a job in the Navy or the Marine Corps as an officer upon graduation. So the Naval Academy itself, you might have heard Annapolis. That's because we're located in Annapolis, Maryland. So we're right literally on the banks of the Chesapeake Bay. So it's a gorgeous, picturesque area right in the heart of downtown Annapolis. So plenty to do just steps outside of the gate. We're also about 25 miles to Baltimore and Washington, D.C. Our campus is small, so it's only about 300 acres, but everything is there. So it's like a little mini city. Everything that you would need, not only for school, but your athletics and your daily life is all within a short walking distance on the academy. So we are the #1 top public college in the United States for 2021. So we're very proud of that. We're primarily known as the STEM school. And the other thing I like to talk about is we have the #2 highest paid mid-career graduates. So that includes not only our officers that are still serving in the Navy or the Marine Corps, but those that have gotten out and gone on to the civilian world and civilian jobs as well. So no matter what you do, whether you want to make a military career or just do a short 5 years and then get out, we're going to set you up for success. Our brigade of midshipmen, we're a smaller school, so about 4,500 total students. We're split about 70-30. I think that math is a little off there on the slide. It's about 70-30 between men and women. And even though we're a smaller school, we're actually mandated by Congress to have students every year from all 50 states. So you are going to encounter people not only from all over the United States, but all over the world. So even though we're a smaller school, we have that very culturally and geographically diverse brigade of midshipmen that even includes some sailors and Marines that come in directly from our enlisted forces. We have 26 different majors available. As I mentioned, primarily STEM. I myself was a humanities major, so political science was my major. So if you're not totally STEM focused, that's okay. We do have some humanities majors as well. And our available minors for the humanities majors are the languages listed there. We have 33 Division I sports. All of our midshipmen will do some sort of sport while they're at the Naval Academy, whether it's varsity, intramural, or club. We also have 122 different extracurriculars, adding new ones every year. So it's important for us. We look for well-rounded candidates for admission. We want you to still be able to do those sports and those extracurriculars at the Naval Academy. We do utilize our summers for training, so you won't be able to just go home and sit on the couch for 3 months, unfortunately. You will have a vacation block of about 1 month. And then aside from that, we're going to get you some experience out into the Navy and the Marine Corps. And then we're also going to get you some leadership development. So not only are you going to get your diploma from the Naval Academy, but we're a leadership laboratory. We're going to develop your leadership, your character. And that's what's very highly prized when you go on to continue your career. Part of our summer training, you'll probably go on some sort of an international experience. So about 75% of our student body will go literally all over the world, as you can see from this map here. The biggest benefit of the Naval Academy is the pay. So everybody who goes to the Naval Academy is on a 100% full ride scholarship. It's nothing you have to apply for. It's included with the Naval Academy. So that includes tuition, room, board, meals, medical, dental coverage. On top of that, you're going to get a stipend. So out of that stipend, all of your other out-of-pocket expenses are going to be covered. So books every semester, all of your uniforms, your clothing, your computer equipment, things like that. You need to go get your haircut. That's all covered out of your stipend. You never have to open up your wallet to pay for any of that. On top of that, you are going to get paid. It's about $125 as a freshman, up to about $500 or more as a junior, senior. Doesn't sound like a whole lot, but when you consider that not only are all your college expenses and out-of-pocket expenses covered, on top of that, you have a guaranteed job upon graduation. That little amount of money is going to go a long way. So our online application is fairly involved. We'll talk a little bit about the different pieces here. We're a little bit different than a normal college or university, and I'll cover those different pieces here. But you can see the online application itself is very similar for the types of things that we'll ask you for. Some additional pieces there is you're going to do an interview with one of our representatives, and then you'll also have to do a medical examination. On top of those other requirements, we're also going to ask everybody to have a nomination. So this is required. All students are eligible to apply to at least 4 sources: the vice president, both of your Illinois senators, and then your congressional representative. You don't need to know any of these individuals. Just go to their website and they'll have forms on there that you can fill out to be considered for their nomination. Medical, as we talked about, you do need to be medically qualified because you'll be at the Naval Academy. And then the ultimate goal here is that graduation and service. I'm just going to briefly run through some of your different options. So you've got surface warfare, the big gray ships, submarine warfare, kind of like the surface Navy, but underwater. Naval aviation, one that's near and dear to my heart. You've got special warfare, so the SEALs and the explosive ordnance disposal teams, as well as the Marine Corps. About a quarter of our graduates will go either into the Marine Corps ground or Marine Corps aviation as Marine Corps pilots. There's just a quick breakdown. You can see there all the things we talked about on the left. And then we also have some other options as well. That about wraps up. I think I'm about out of time. As I said, I know that was a lot of information. I'll share my contact information. But if you'd like some more information, feel free to go to our admissions website. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And kind of mentioned there, but 6 minutes is very quick to get as much information as you can about a school. The idea here is to kind of whet your appetite, an appetizer, if you will, so that the full meal would be you following up for a one-on-one, more information, that sort of thing. Up next, we will hear from Northwestern University.
Perfect. Hi, everyone. My name is Amanda Bustamante, and I'm an assistant director of admission here at Northwestern. Let's see. Can everyone see my screen? Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you. So a little bit about Northwestern University. We are a medium-sized university located in Evanston, Illinois. Since I'm speaking to Chicagoans, if you just go down Lakeshore Drive and just keep going north until you can't no more. Eventually you'll hit a campus, and then you'll hit another campus. That'll be us in Evanston. And so what's really great about campus is that it's on the lake itself. So really beautiful views. Our admissions office is actually on the lake. And so if you were here in person on campus, you'd have this presentation with a view of the lake in the background, and it'd be awesome. But in the meantime, I do have some slides to show you. So what's really great about Northwestern is we are in Evanston, but Chicago's right there in our backyard. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. You get a small college town, but then you also get the hustle and bustle of Chicago. A lot of you won't be too far from home, which for some of you is a bonus. For some of you, you're still debating. I will say that we are far enough from Chicago that, you know, you could tell your parents that, you know, it's a drive away, not to bother, you know. But what's really great about Northwestern is that we have people from all 50 states, as well as over 95 countries represented. So lots of diversity. But that said, we still keep our classes small and discussion-based. So we have a 6-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So if you are looking for those smaller discussion-based classes, you don't have to be worried when you hear that we have 8,000 students. You won't find a class with hundreds and hundreds of students. Rather, they'll be small and discussion-based. We are on a quarter system at Northwestern. So you have fall, winter, spring, and summer quarters, but there are only 3 academic terms. So students are only going to school those first 3. You're still able to use your summer quarter any way you'd like. Some students will choose to do internships, others will study abroad, others may, you know, watch Netflix on their parents' couch during the summer quarter. That's okay too, but you're going to be in class those first 3 quarters. Students take about 12 classes a year. So you're looking at 48 classes by the time that you graduate. We make it pretty easy for you in that 1 class equals 1 credit, 48 classes, 48 credits to graduate. And we are on a 6-school model. So you have Northwestern University as this umbrella, and it's made up of 6 different schools. And each of the 6 different schools is unique in its own way. Our largest is the College of Arts and Sciences. So this is going to be home to the most majors that we offer. They're going to be more traditional majors such as math, English, psychology, biology, and about 50% of Northwestern students are in the College of Arts and Sciences. Then we have 5 more specialized schools. So we have our School of Communication, our School of Engineering, our School of Journalism, our School of Education and Social Policy, and our School of Music. That School of Music is the only school out of the 6 that does require an audition for admission. So if you're interested in our School of Music, definitely make sure you know that there is an audition portion in addition to the application. So 6 different schools, but what's really awesome is Northwestern students have access to all 6. So you'll find a home in at least one of them, but you can still take classes and move around the 6 different schools. And I know often there are students who make it a goal to take a class in each of the 6 schools before they graduate. So know that you have access to that. Also, if you're an undecided high school senior, like I once was, that's completely fine with us because we give you until the end of your 2nd year, beginning of your 3rd year to declare your major. And if at any point you want to move around, you want to switch out of the School of Engineering and join our School of Communication, that's definitely all right with us. So know that that flexibility is there if you need. Earlier, I mentioned that summer quarter, and what's really exciting is students typically use the summer quarter to do what we like to call experiential learning. So a number of different research opportunities. There are study abroad programs. There are internships for students to take advantage of. And about 2/3 of our undergraduates have 1 or more internship experiences on campus. And so often these are paid opportunities. So if you're looking to work, get experience, get paid for it, we have an entire career advancement office dedicated to helping you navigate those experiences. So you don't have to feel like you're doing that by yourself. We also have over 500 different student organizations. 100 of those are culturally based. So a number of different clubs for you to be a part of. If you thought that your high school had a lot of clubs, wait till you get to college and you check out all that we have to offer. We also are a D1 Big Ten school, so sports are a really big deal. Whether you know how to play or you just want to go cheer people on, all students get into all sporting events for free. So you'll have access to that throughout your 4 years at Northwestern. Finally, just that application portion, we have 2 deadlines: early decision, early action. And then our financial aid policy is that we meet 100% of demonstrated need for all admitted students. So it is a need-based policy. And I'll go ahead and throw my contact information in the chat so you can feel free to reach out with more questions. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much. And I'll mention the chat as well. Take a look at that for the information that representatives are sending to you. Also, the Q&A is very active. Ask questions if you have them. Remember, they will be forwarded on to the representatives, even if they're not answered during this session. Up next, we will hear from Bucknell University.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm having problems with my Zoom, so I think I will not put my video on so that I can share my screen. Is that okay?
Of course.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So good afternoon. Thanks for being here. I'm glad to be here to talk with you. My name is Kristen Morrow. I'm an assistant director of admissions at Bucknell. So I'll jump right into it. Bucknell does all it can to provide a complete experience, both academically and extracurricularly, for our students. Our students are intellectually curious, they're engaged, and they're interested, and they like learning from a variety of lenses, and they value community. But the best thing about Bucknell and what makes us distinctive is in the combination of these 2 words, small university. We have all the resources and facilities of a large university, yet our total enrollment is 3,600 students. Our facilities, lab spaces, workspaces, classrooms, design studios are more than ample for our students. So a few facts about us. We're a university. We're located in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, which is in the center of the state. We're rooted in a liberal arts tradition with disciplines or majors in these 3 colleges: the College of Arts, College of Engineering, and the Freeman College of Management. These colleges complement one another, and the Broad Liberal Arts Foundation provides students with an understanding of how these majors work together. So we believe very strongly in this interdisciplinary approach. Not only will you take subjects in your major, but also many other subjects outside of your major. We encourage students to explore with over 60 majors and over 70 minors. So liberal arts is at our foundation, but the great news is that Bucknell takes it to another level. We intersect selective liberal arts and professional programs, with many of them nationally ranked and recognized. This offers students a really extraordinary experience, which will prepare them for our complex world, ever changing. Think COVID. Life doesn't happen in a straight line, and we believe that we prepare you for that potentially jagged line. So our classroom sizes are about 30, with upper level classes getting down to 10 and 15 in a classroom. Our student faculty ratio is 9-to-1. 100% of our professors have their PhDs in their fields of study. And you see a 0 up on the screen on your left, which means none of our classes are taught by graduate or teaching assistants. You're being taught by full professors, and they're widely available to help you. You'll see them everywhere on campus, in our Bison snack bar, in their offices. Their first priority is the students. Research is a big part of the academics experience here, and it's widely available. What you're seeing here is an animal behavior major doing research with her baboon, who's a research partner. Fun fact, we are the only undergraduate institution in the nation that has a primate center right here on campus. Since we only have 60 graduate students as compared to 3,600 undergrads, research opportunities are not grabbed up by graduate students. Professors are always open to students joining them to do research in their fields. We also offer a robust program of study abroad with over 100 pre-approved programs all over the world. About 50% of our students study abroad. We also have a Bucknell In program where a cohort of students go with a professor abroad and study wherever that professor is teaching for the semester. Whoops. Let's talk a little bit about housing, life on campus. Housing's guaranteed for all 4 years. 90% of our students live on campus. We have a wide variety of housing experiences, singles, doubles, triples, apartments for upperclassmen. We also have residential colleges, which are living communities centered around a common theme. Our campus is always alive with activity. We have over 200 clubs and organizations. We're Division I in the Patriot League for sports, 14 men's and 13 women's. And we have a wide variety of club and intramural sports. Our arts programs are alive and well, dance, theater, music, and art. And the best part is you don't have to major in one of these in order to participate in the activities. There is truly something for everyone, and there's lots to do on campus. The town of Lewisburg is the quintessential small college town. It's only a 5-minute walk from campus. Whoops, I went too far. Okay, so finally our admissions procedures. We offer ED1, Early Decision 1, Early Decision 2, and Regular Decision. We read holistically, which means we read every application and we read everything in it. When we read your application, we're seeking to build a narrative about you, what makes you tick. We'll look at your grades and rigor of curriculum. We'll look at your essay, your recommendations, what you're involved in, both in and out of school. We have been test optional for 2 application cycles, 1 full application cycle even before COVID. You're not penalized at all if you choose not to submit your scores. And if you would like to apply for financial aid, about 60% of our students are on aid. We ask that you fill out the CSS profile. And then finally, my contact information is here on the screen. Please visit our website for visit options, both virtually and hopefully in person starting soon. We're hoping to open up this summer. Please contact us if you have any questions. There are no stupid questions. That's what we're here for. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And again, questions, use the Q&A and check out the chat for the information and links that the representatives are sending to you. Up next, we will hear from University of Chicago.
Hi, everyone. My name is Frankie. I am from the University of Chicago. I am very excited to be here with you all today. Some quick background about me before we get started. I am a Chicago native, so talking about attending a college in the city of Chicago is something I'm always love to do. I'm also a Noble alum. I graduated from USHN in 2015, which seems like a long time ago and makes me feel a little self-conscious right now, but overall, you know, having that experience with Noble is definitely something I have. So for any students that want to talk about the transition from Noble to like UChicago, I'm always happy to talk about that. But right now I only have 6 minutes, so I'm gonna do my best to cover as much as possible. With the University of Chicago, we are a liberal arts college within a full research university. Essentially what that means is that we wanna make sure students are going to get that liberal arts foundation and being able to learn not only things within their passion, but also being open to go ahead and learn a lot of other different disciplines. And then being within a full research university, essentially what that means is that students get all of the resources and access to different research opportunities. So not only do you have access to professors to go ahead and pursue research with them, but students can go ahead and pursue research on their own. And research actually is pretty common. About 80% of our students do conduct research either on their own or alongside their professor throughout their time at UChicago. UChicago is located in Hyde Park, which is on the south side of Chicago. We are about 20 minutes away from the city. That is fantastic. And of course, you will not be that, for most people, you won't be that far away from home. And not only that, but when students arrive on campus, we really want our students to take advantage of being within the city. And so what we do is we tie their student ID to an arts pass, which gives them free admission to certain museums around the city. And you also get access to a U-Pass, which gives you free admission to all of the CTA transportations, whether it is the train or the bus. So as a Chicago native, that is fantastic. You know, being able to go ahead and visit your family for free through the U-Pass is really great to take advantage of. Now, at UChicago, academically speaking, your academic career will be split up into about thirds. 1/3 will be dedicated to the core curriculum. That is our answer to the liberal arts education. The core curriculum is essentially our way of making sure all of our students are going to go ahead and graduate with a common yet challenging foundation. The core curriculum is made up of 8 distinct fields of study that are listed above. The humanities, civilizations, arts, biological sciences, physical sciences, mathematics, social sciences, and foreign language. Generally, students will go ahead and take about 2 years to go ahead and satisfy the core curriculum. And yes, we do want to make sure that all of our students are getting that common yet challenging foundation. However, we give students the flexibility to go ahead and choose how they want to satisfy the different core requirements. And that's because at UChicago, we want to teach you how to think, but never what to think. The second third of your college career will be dedicated to your majors. At UChicago, we have one college that houses all of our undergraduate majors. We have 52 different majors available at UChicago, and students will go ahead and declare their major by the end of their third year. The last third of their college career will be dedicated to any elective courses. Those are any additional courses you want to take that don't satisfy your major or core requirements, essentially being able to go ahead and utilize those to just take anything that may be interesting to you, or being able to build up your course load to go ahead and take a second major or even a different minor. At UChicago, we are on the quarter system. Essentially what that means is that our year is split up into 4 distinct parts. Students are able to go ahead and take classes for 3 of those 4 quarters, that is the fall, winter, and spring quarter. And then students generally utilize the summer quarter for them to go ahead and pursue internships, maybe pursue different research, or take any additional courses. At UChicago, we have a lot of different opportunities for students to build their professional development, such as our Office of Career Advancement. Our Office of Career Advancement is essentially the hub for all resources for students to go ahead and pursue different internships, learn about different research opportunities, as well as being able to go ahead and have those conversations of what postgrad will look like once you graduate from UChicago. Not only are students, as I mentioned, 80% of our undergrads do conduct research, but we also do have 2,700 different types of paid internships called MECAP internships that are guaranteed to be substantive, meaning that students will not just be filing paperwork or getting someone's coffee, but you're going to be doing real work that gives you the experience of what it's like to work at those specific places. And then students are also partnered with full-time academic and career advisors. Before you step on campus, the academic advisor will help you navigate all of the requirements at UChicago in terms of academics. And then the career advisors will be working closely with you in order to develop all of your professional goals, such as writing resumes, writing cover letters, searching for those internships, and doing that job search once you hit your 4th year at UChicago. Overall, students will find themselves in about 3 different types of communities at UChicago, whether it is in our housing community. UChicago is very reminiscent of Hogwarts in the sense that we have a housing community. We have 48 houses and 7 residential dorms. Each house is generally about 60 to 100 students per house. With the housing system itself, generally those are students that are sharing traditions, events, the house lounge, in order to really get a smaller experience of what it's like to be introduced to the larger UChicago community. And not only that, but we also have 450 student organizations that students can go ahead and take advantage of, being able to find very niche, very, very specific student organizations, to finding very broad student organizations, such as our barbecue student organization, which was literally just a bunch of students who love to barbecue and decided to fill out a form and are now a recognized student organization and get funding to grow on campus. We do have 20 Division III varsity sports team. And then the last community students will find themselves is in the great city of Chicago, of course. And some of our traditions do include $1 milkshake Wednesdays, which means that every Wednesday students will go ahead and have access to $1 milkshakes. And just a quick overview of our application process. UChicago is a highly selective school, but what that means is essentially that we do take a holistic approach when reviewing your application, meaning that we're not just looking at your academics or your test scores. We are looking at every single aspect of the application that you submit to us in order for us to get a very well-rounded and in-depth view as to who you are. Since 2018, we have been test optional, which means students can choose whether or not they would like to submit their test scores to us. And if you choose not to submit your test scores to us, that's completely okay. There are no negative repercussions. And then one last thing in terms of our financial aid, at UChicago, we are guaranteed to meet 100% of your demonstrated need. And since 2018, our Empower initiative states that students who come from families that make $125,000 or less, and if admitted to UChicago, will go ahead and receive full tuition coverage through grants, not loans, meaning you don't have to pay it back. And any admitted students that come from families that make $60,000 or less will go ahead and receive full tuition coverage, room and board, and any additional fees covered through grants. Thank you so much. Here's my contact information, and I'll throw it into the chat.
Thank you very much. I'm going to ask all of our representatives to come on screen, and if they can, with their cameras, and turn on their microphones as well. We're going to do a quick round robin Q&A in the same order that you presented. And the first question here would be, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process right now, and it would be maybe the one piece of advice that you would give someone going through the college search process right now. We'll start with University of Southern California.
Great, thank you. I would say my biggest piece of advice to you right now as high school students is keep your options open. I know I was youngest of 7 when I was applying to college. I thought we couldn't afford it. I thought public was the only way I could go. It was cheaper for me to enroll at USC than it was my public options. Keep your options open. Consider those private schools. You heard my colleagues today all talking about the great need-based aid they have. So keep those options open.
Emory University.
Thank you. My advice would be stay involved and stay active, no matter what you are interested in. College and university looking for diverse students with diverse interests. So whether or not you want to start a business, you participate in sports, do community service, whatever it is that you're passionate about doing, please find a way to stay active and involved, even as we work through this pandemic.
U.S. Naval Academy.
Thank you. Yeah, I'd actually go along a similar line to what Ms. Tewksbury said. Not only keeping your options open, but maybe explore some options that are a little bit foreign to you, or maybe you're not too sure about. And I say that from experience. So I didn't really know about the Naval Academy when I was looking on my college search. I wasn't really sure about, serving in the military. And the more I explored the Naval Academy and the other service academies, the more I found that did actually interest me, and ultimately it's where I ended up going. So sometimes the things that you're not so sure about or not really certain about or maybe never heard of before might be what you end up doing later in life. So not only keeping your options open, but expanding your boundaries and explore some things that you might not be interested on the surface or know too much about.
Northwestern.
I would say don't just make a college decision based on your financial aid package. I know that was the #1 reason I chose my school. And I would say financial aid packages don't always equal the right fit for you. So even though grants and scholarships are incredible, especially for low-income first-generation college students, I would say also consider other factors when you make that decision and don't let just the money choose for you.
Bucknell University.
Yes, I apologize, first of all, because every time I try to start my video, my Zoom crashes. So I'm so sorry, you're just seeing a K. Okay, so my advice would be start early in your search. That really helps things when you're not in a panic. Do your research, visit the websites, read the information. And then the final thing is ask us questions. That's what we're here for. Please reach out, email us. If you don't want to call us, email us, but ask questions. That's what we're here for. Thank you.
University of Chicago.
I definitely agree with, keeping your mind open and wanting to make sure that there are so many different types of colleges you can go ahead and apply to and get accepted to. At the end of the day, do make sure that you are going to be happy there. Have at least a list of non-negotiables that you don't want to, change simply because of financial aid or whether or not being admitted. You want to make sure that you are, flipping the script rather than just having college representatives tell you what they're looking for in a student. Make sure that we know what you're looking for in a college so that you're going to be happy, because this is going to be 4 years of your life. It goes by fast, but it's something you definitely want to enjoy.
Well, thank you all for sharing the great pieces of advice and obviously sharing the information about each of your schools. And I want to thank our attendees for joining us. Just a quick reminder, if you asked a question and it was not answered, the questions will be forwarded to the reps, so they will have a chance to follow up with you. Probably next week is when they'll get the questions sent to them. So give it a little time there, but they will get all of the questions sent. And also make sure you've gone into the chat to get the information that the representative sent to you there. When you close this window, there'll be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. Also, there are more sessions coming up in the next hour. Be sure to sign up for more if you haven't done so already. Same place you signed up for this one. And in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the other session recordings at strivescan.com/noble. Once again, thank you to all of our representatives for presenting today. And thank you all for joining us. Have a great rest of your Friday.